At this point, saying that Bloodborne is a trippy game is old news. It really gains that ESRB mature rating to avoid having 8-eyed children crawling about and all that. One thing that I thought about is, what if we enhanced that trippiness with narcotics? I'm sure you've all thought about that at some point in your Fromsoftware careers. Don't worry, I won't do a high playthrough. Yet. I'm just here to rank some areas by their intoxicatability, aka top 5 best areas to get comatose. Let's go. Number 5. The graveyard in central Yharnam. A graveyard is always a good choice if you don't get spooked easily. Watch out for the local authorities, and if you don't get caught, you might be in for some good sights, including beautifully crafted architecture, in this case, the gaze of a blood moon to take things even trippier, and all in all, one of the best locations to connect with your predecessors in case you choose to make your dose double. Points in favor, you're still in town, so I assume it won't take you long to go back home, which reduces the risk of getting caught with irritated eyes, lack of motor coordination, mumbling to the wall, amongst other behaviors that might give away you're too far gone. Points against, graveyards, though often very attractive places, are quite common. Every town has to bury their dead, which means you won't make the most out of your astral trip because there won't be anything out of the ordinary around, excluding the odd amygdala hanging on the wall. Now that I mention it, it should be necessary to have a lot of insights to come here. The more you know, the more things you can see under the influence. Number 4. The Lumenwood Garden is a solid choice because the views are fantastic for one. If you're feeling insignificant, just approach the railing and look at the vastness of Yharnam to remind yourself of how small you are. The presence of water nearby can come in handy if you need to wake up fast because someone's expecting you with full capabilities. Careful with the water temperature though. Having an avalanche of cold might not be the best thing for your body's nervous system. Enter the water, take in small steps, and if you feel it's too cold, just accept you'll have to run your errand while handicapped. What's more, the big unavoidable flower in the middle of the garden screams take a bite out of me and you'll experience things. A lumen flower joint. I guess that's what Gurman meant when he said,
"You're welcome to use whatever you find."
For all I know, it could be the best buff you can find. It won't hurt to try. Positives, there's a sort of hospital or research center with many nurses inside right next to you. Negatives, update, the hospital is cursed and people can't even take care of themselves, let alone of a narcotic hunter. If I can go back while poisoned, I guess I'll walk through this door and check for... oh fuck. Well, I guess it's better to die dancing than struggling to live. Number 3. Strainhurst Castle comes in at the 3rd spot because just look at that. Not only is the landscape a big plus for your experience, but also the weather is of good help. I once tried some mushrooms and I couldn't stop sweating until the point I felt like Bloodborne had a message template dedicated to me. Strainhurst comes in clutch with its low temperature and icy sides. Points in favor, you'll be the coolest colleague at work or university if you tell your partners you've popped a few too many at the top of an abandoned castle infested with ghosts. Men have a slight advantage in this zone because it will be the first time we won't be ghosted by a female. Being ignored? Not anymore. Sent to our tombs by some delicate transparent hands holding a Michael Myers type of kitchen knife? Sure. Any negative points? I think the heights. During those moments of low lucidity and lack of internal eyes, it is very easy to believe one can fly. But remember guys, if the hunter cannot fly, neither can we. Go easy on the elixirs and sedatives or this might be a one-way trip. In the number 2 spot, the Kost is a very chill place, hidden from people, which means no one will bother you here. Most importantly, it's a safe place because there are no heights, no law enforcement, and the water will cover you to your knees only. So, unless your poisoned ass decides to fall asleep on your stomach in the water, you're good to go. Grayish murky days go well with self-intoxication and relaxing. In case it rains, you can find some shelter right next to it in company of some harmless fish lady. Again, an advantageous position for male hunters. The rocky elevations around you, the water, and the clouds in the sky hiding the sun can make you feel very in contact with nature, which is good for your body since you've chosen to destroy it. Positives? Clean coastal air for your lungs. Negatives? The ships are too banged up to be used for sailing. P.S. A subscription to the channel is well appreciated for the fact that I had to beat the orphan on New Game Plus 5 just to record this bit at the Kost. Those were the most miserable 4 hours I have ever had on a recent random Sunday.
Me bomba!
If that's not good enough, I'll tell you where Sony hid the remaster and the sequel. Now on to the honorable mention. The moonlit lake is the definition of a paradise for introverts. There is nothing here beyond solitude. If you ever want to come here and have a deep conversation with a friend or even yourself, it's easily one of the best places to get lost in your thoughts. Most of us who have been under the influence of whatever substance know that going for a run sometimes becomes very tempting in those moments of low insight. Well, nothing can stop you here. You can run to your heart's content. While a very appealing place, what keeps it away from the #1 spot is that it is impossible to avoid getting your feet wet, which can ruin my day if I'm wearing shoes. And again, the loneliness is amplified times 100 while in the void. So make sure to bring a mate or two to have some deep philosophical conversations about life, your insecurities, and how messed up the world is. And in the #1 spot, the lilies field in the hunter's dream. We all have that one friend who brought us to the dark side, right? What makes the dream stand out from the rest is that buddy of yours I mentioned is here. The one responsible for every sinful component you've consumed, the veteran who gives you tips to make the trip smoother, the one who controls the doses and gives you the insurance that this won't end up badly, and many more accolades. But the most important is that he is that friend that always says yes when it comes to mutilating your neurons. No matter the night, the moment, or the weather, he will be there. If he's dead and you give him a call,
Nico, it's Roman.
he'll come back from the grave, just to remember the good old days with you. Don't get too cocky though. Your friend has limits. Respect his boundaries or you might earn yourself some ibuprofen for the headache. Beyond the excellent company, the combination of the lilies, the always present moon, and the heat emanating from the burning workshop to keep you warm is the perfect combination to have a chill time like no other. Since I've seen in the post that many of you thought this was going to be Bloodborne but the area order makes no sense, I thought about making that soon. Be seeing you, comrades. Thanks for watching. Bye.